Hello everyone, welcome back again to Playwright with TypeScript UI Automation Testing Session 13. In today's session, you will learn how to handle frame or iframe inside a page and how to interact with different kind of elements available inside frame or iframe element in Playwright with TypeScript. A frame is a web page which is embedded in another web page or an HTML document embedded inside another HTML document. The frame is often used to insert content from another source, such as advertisement, into a web page. The frame tag specifies whether a frame is available inside a web page or not, whereas an iframe or inline frame is an HTML element that allow user to embed another HTML document within the current page. iframe introduced in 1998, one of the oldest HTML tags. They are commonly used to display external content such as advertisement, maps, or videos, or to create layered user interface by loading multiple web pages within a single page. Modern development libraries and framework like Angular and React.js also support iframe. Angular's built-in security features such as DOM sanitizer can be used to ensure that content loaded within an iframe is safe and secure. Iframes offer several benefits such as the ability to embed external content like YouTube videos and tweets as well. Iframe can also be used to isolate content as the JavaScript and CSS of the parent page do not apply to iframe. Another excellent use case for iframe is for displaying advertisement. So mostly frame or iframe primarily used to insert content from another source, and content can be like advertisement, maps, videos, tweets, etc. So in case you open the web page and if you try to find the tag starting with frame or iframe, then you can easily understand that frame or iframe available. In case frame or iframe available inside the page, first you need to handle those frame or iframe. After that, once your frame or iframe is handled, then you can try to interact the element inside the frame or iframe. Otherwise, it will throw the error. Now, by seeing the page, it is not possible to understand whether frame or iframe is there or not in the page. So what is the way you can understand whether frame or iframe is available? So two approaches there. First one is that user need to open the application in any of the browser like Chrome, Edge, or Firefox browser. After that, in case in particular section frame or iframe is available, if you right click, there might be options available called reload frame. Then you can understand that that particular section that frame or iframe available. But that approach does not guarantee that like you can easily identify the frame or iframe throughout the page, because you need to mouse over whole the page and you need to understand like that way. So the second option is very simple, where you can open the web page, any of the browser, press F12 button from the keyboard, then press Ctrl F and try to search with word called frame or iframe. If user is able to find some search result, which means that frame or iframe is available, but definitely that search result should let you know that it is starting with the tag name frame or iframe. The frame or iframe what might be there, but in case tag name is starting for any of the element with frame or iframe, then it is certifying that frame or iframe is available inside the page. And in case some element is inside the frame or iframe tag, then you need to handle the frame or iframe first. After that, you can interact with the element. So Playwright allows user to identify frame or iframe using various methods. Mostly two method is important method is available. One is page.frame, where you can pass the name or URL as a string, which will help you to locate a frame or iframe by its name or URL. And second approach is page.frame locator, where you can pass the locator or the selector. It can be anything, right, with the help of the different locator strategy or maybe CSS or XPath as well, which will help user to locate a frame or iframe using a CSS or XPath selector. Once a frame is located, user can interact with its element as they were part of the main page. Playwright handles the context switching automatically. In Selenium, what you need to do, you need to just navigate to the frame, and after that you can interact with the element inside the frame. In case inner frame is there, again you need to switch from the outer frame to inner frame and you need to handle it. And in case your controls, you need to again your change the control back to the outer frame from the inner frame. You need to use like the different approach. And if you want to again do the introductions with the normal element where frame or iframe is there, not there, you need to switch back your control. But in Selenium, unlike Selenium, Playwright does not require a special command to exit a frame or iframe context and return to the main page. The main page object is always the reference for the top level document. Playwright supports handling nested frame or iframe, which is nothing but the frame or iframe within a frame or iframe, by using frame.locator method on a frame locator object. Now let's understand what is the way you can identify the frame first, and after that you can interact, you can handle the frame or iframe, and you can just interact the element within the frame or iframe. So this is the like web page. Okay, let code.in slash frame. So this is the frame available, this is sections. So just right click and you could see, okay, in case some frame is available, okay, you could see the reload frame option is available, means there might be a frame or iframes available in the section. But if you go to the other section where frame is not available, you are not able to find the reload frame option. So that is the way it is very tough to identify the frame is up or iframe is available inside the page. So in case frame is available, you will be getting the option, but you need to just move your mouse throughout the page to understand the frame or iframe is available. But that is not a very good approach. So let's follow the second approach. So you can just right click on the page and you can try to click on the inspect button. You can press Ctrl F and you can search with frame or iframe to understand whether like any frame or iframe available, okay, with the tag name starting with frame or iframe. So here you could see the tag name is there, iframe tag. If you go here, you could able to find couple of right frame or iframe. So there might be inner frame also available. So I know that there is inner frame available in the page. So we'll first handle the outer frame and then we'll go to the inner frame. So you could see, so first let's handle the outer frame. Okay, let's again press Ctrl F and type frame or iframe, and you could see this is the first outer frame available. So we'll handle the outer frame first. So let's go to the VS Code. Okay, here I have created a new spec file, handle frame.spec.ts, and this is our test cases, introduction with frame or iframe, an element inside them in Playwright, and we are navigating to the web page. Now what we will do, we will try to first handle the outer frame. So what we'll be doing, we'll be calling page dot frame method. Okay, so you could mouse it over, you could see this is the option it is giving, right? We can store in some variable and we can give some name. So let's give it. Okay, for the first one, what is the approach we can follow? We can either give the name of the frame or URL. So here we already know the frame name, right? Okay, this is the frame. You could see if you just go to the right side, you could able to see the name, right? This is the name of the frame. So we'll be identifying the frame with the help of the name. So here what we can do, we can pass the name. We can give the second bracket or the curly braces. Okay, we can give name and then we can give colon, we can give a space, we can give the name of the frame. Now we can store in some variable. Let's give something called constant. Let's give something called outer frame. Okay, equal to sign. So here we are identifying outer frame first. Okay, once we are identifying the outer frame, we can try to interact with the element inside this frame. Let's close it here, and now let's see, we want to identify first name and last name field. Okay, let's right click on inspect. Okay, you could see like input tag and some placeholder, some other value is there, name is there. So you can either create a CS selector, or you can use the placeholder other attribute which is unique. And you could see this input tag is inside the frame, right? You could see this is the frame, inside the frame. This is the parent frame, and inside this parent frame your first name field is available. So what we'll do, we'll perform actions on the element available inside the outer frame. Okay, first we will try to create a variable for the first name equal to page dot. We can use locator. Okay, so here we need to create a XPath, or we can use the placeholder. Okay, so we can use the placeholder. Let's use it in case it's unique or not. Let's copy it here. Let's press Ctrl F. Okay, you could see one of one. So that placeholder we can use it. So page dot get by placeholder, and I can give the value for the first name. That's fine. Now for the last name also I can try to create a variable again called last name. Let's see what is the attributes available for the last name. Okay, again it is inside the frame only. Okay, you could see here placeholder is called enter email. Okay, let's see. Okay, it is highlighting the last name field. Okay, not that. Okay, it is one of two element is there. So better we can go with other locator. Okay, here other locator is there. Okay, you could see name equal to what is the name? Okay, name equal to last name. So what we can do, we can try to create a CSS. So let's press Ctrl F. What is the tag is input and name. Third bracket name equal to the value you can give it. Okay, you could see now one out of one element is being displayed. So that is the way I can try to create the CS selector for the last name. So what I'll be using here, instead of page dot get by placeholder, I will use page dot locator, because locator is the method we need to call whenever we are identifying the element with the help of the XPath or CSS, and that is the way I have identified these two elements. Okay, now let's try to fill some value in the both the field. Await first name, we need to call the fill method because both are input field. I want to enter some value here, say Haradhan. Okay, and we can end with a colon. Now for the last name again we can try to enter some value. So let's take the last name field. Let's give value called Pal. Okay, I'll be giving my name Haradhan and Pal. Okay, now I will just save the code and I will run it first. Step by step we'll try to run it. So we'll be giving npx space playwright space test. This is the spec file name. Okay, space hyphen hyphen project equal to chromium. You can change it here WebKit or Firefox as well. Space hyphen hyphen headed. Now let's try to run it and let's see whether the execution is happening or not. It will open the page. It will identify the frame, and now it will enter the value in the first name and last name field. Okay, here it will not work. Why? I have intentionally identified the frame but did not given the frame reference. So it will fail because it will not able to understand that element, because it is not inside the page, right? It is not able to identify it, right? You could see here waiting for get by placeholder but not able to find. So after 30 seconds waited and time exceeded, it is throwing the error. Okay, because it is not able to identify the element. Why? Because here we have used like page as a reference, but using the page that option is not available, first name or last name, but those text field or input field are available in the frame, so I need to change it here to frame element. Now let's save it. Now let's run the code again and let's see whether it's running or not. Okay, you could see whatever value we have given, it's working perfectly fine. So you can change it to Haradhan. Okay, so I am able to handle the outer frame, and in the outer frame, the element which is a text field, first name and last name, I am able to identify those elements and I am able to interact with those elements. Now we can wait for 2 seconds here so that you can able to visualize the execution. Now with the help of the outer frame reference, okay, okay, and let's take the message also. Okay, here give something called Haradhan and Pal. You could see automatically some message is coming. Right, this message also you can validate it whether it's working or not. Okay, let's identify the element here. Okay, so you could see it is starting with P. This is the paragraph, and there is some class available. So with the help of the class and P tag, we can create an CSS. So this is the P tag, and here I can give the attribute called class, and this is the value. So that is the way I can try to identify the text. Okay, so let's try to take this and try to store in some variable called message variable, whatever message is giving, and I will need to change it the CS selector name here. You can create XPath or other attribute available, you can also take it. Now what you can do, you can do some assertion. Outer frame, what is the way you can do the assertion? Await, expect. Okay, this is the message variable, and first you can validate that it is visible or not. Dot to be visible. Okay, once it is visible, validation is done. Then you can try to validate the text. Dot to have text. There is a method, right? To have text. And what is the text? You can just take it. This is the text is coming. Okay, this is the complete text you can take. So you can also validate whether your message is properly coming or not. Okay, now let's run it once more time and let's see whether your test is getting executed successfully or not. With the message, whatever is coming is validated also properly. Okay, it is working. One test case passed. Total time is 9.8 seconds. Okay, so my code is working fine. Now what we will do, I will identify the inner frame. Okay, now let's go to other element. This is the element. Okay, if you right click here, you could see this is the element text field. If you go up, okay, this is again coming in some frame, which is other frame, right? Inner frame. So inner frame is available inside the outer frame. So first you need to go to the outer frame, and from the outer frame you can try to get the inner frame. So you could see what are the different attributes available for the inner frame. Okay, SRC is there. So what we can do, we can use some method, other method called frame locator. Using the frame locator, you can try to switch your control from the outer frame to the inner frame. So I will create a CSS selector here. What is the tag name? iframe src equal to this value. So I'll be giving tag name iframe, and src is the attribute and this is the value. I'll create a CSS. You could see 1 out of 1 is being displayed, and this is highlighting only the inner frame, which is inside the outer frame. So now we will try to identify the inner frame. So what we'll be doing, we'll be creating a variable constant inner frame equal to, you need to give the outer frame reference. Okay, here you need to call not the locators, you need to give here outer frame dot frame locator. Okay, that one. And you need to give here whatever XPath or CSS you have created, that you can need to pass it. So this is the approach you need to follow. So you are now identifying the inner frame. Now what you can do, within the inner frame, you can try to identify the email field. So I'll be creating a variable called constant email text field, okay, equal to inner frame reference dot locator or any other attribute, whatever is available. Okay, let's see for this email field, what are the different attributes available. Okay, you could see tag name is input. Okay, there is a text, there is a name equal to email, there is a placeholder also there, but placeholder is duplicate, we already find out, right? So we'll take is name equal to email. Okay, so we will try to create a select CS selector, tag name equal to input, and third bracket name equal to email. Let's create a CSS selector here. You could see one out of one element is being displayed. That part we can take and we can just, okay, paste it inside the locators. So we are identifying the email text field. Now what we can do, okay, we can try to scroll into the element because sometime element is not visible in the default view. So we will try to use scroll into the view if needed, and here we need to give the await. Now we will try to enter some value here in this field, email text dot fill method. I can give some value is the email, so I can give test123 at the rate of gmail.com. Okay, and after scrolling view also I can validate whether the field is, sorry, email text dot scroll into view, that is fine. Now I can validate also dot to be visible, sorry, expect, right, we need to use expect the variable name dot to be visible. Okay, we have given here, this is the sign. Okay, it will not identify outer frame, then inner frame is the reference is fine. Then I can give here to be visible method. Okay, somehow that sign entered into the code. Now we can scroll into the view, we can try to validate whether this email text field is visible, and we are entering some value. Now let's save the code and let's try to run it. Let's see what's happening, and we can just give some wait time here before entering the value after going to the inner frame. Let's run the code again in the Chromium browser. So it will open the page first. It will enter the value in the email first name and last name field. It will validate that message. It will scroll down to the element which email is there. It will enter the value test123 at the rate gmail.com, and your test case is getting passed. So that is the way, in case you are having n number of frame, nested frame, right, or frame inside the frame or iframe, you can handle that way. So what are the approach you need to follow? First, you need to identify the, navigate to the page. You need to identify the outer frame. In case only one frame is there, then you can directly identify the frame and you can interact with the element. But in case some nested frame is there, first you need to identify the outer frame, and you can interact with all the element within the outer frame. Then you need to go to the inner frame with the help of the page locator method. You can identify the inner frame, and you can, with the help of the inner frame reference, you can identify the inner frame element and you can interact with the inner frame element. Now I already came to the inner frame. Now from the inner frame, what I need to do, I need to go to the outer frame element and I want to interact with the outer frame element again. So I can give 2-second pause here. Okay, after that what I need to do, I need to go to the outer frame element. So what are the outer frame element is there? Okay, first name and last name, right? First name is there, So in the first name field, what I will be doing, first name field, first I'll be clearing the value. Okay. So I'll call the clear method because this is the text field. I can call the clear method. Here there is two dots, so I can remove one dot and new value I want to enter like that, other than 1 to 3. And in the last name also, I want to do the same operation. Here I can change the variable name to the last name. Instead of typing, better to copy it so that there will be no error. Okay. So once I already identify the outer frame, I'm interacting with the outer frame element. Then from the outer frame reference, using the outer frame reference, I'm going to the inner frame. I'm handling the identifying the element inside the inner frame. I'm interacting with the element inside the inner frame. Now, after that, I want to go to the outer frame from the inner frame. So you need to use that variable directly. So there is no context switching required. So Playwright all automatically do the context switching based on your locator or based on your page reference. So that is the way I can do it. Now let's try to run the code again and see what's happening here. Okay, Haradhan Pal entered, message validated. After 2 seconds, it is going to the inner frame, test 1 to 3 entered. Okay, and again it is harder than 1 to 3 entered. So what will be doing, you are not able to do the validation properly, so here you can do scrolling, okay, to the first name field, so that you could able to see that whether it is happening or not properly. Now we already came to the outer frame here. Okay, from the inner frame we already came to the outer frame, we are able to interact it. But now I want to interact with some element wherever there is no frame available. So suppose say I want to click on this grooming and then I want to click on the test practice or like play write quiz or any of the option and sub option. So here also no context switching is required. So what you can do, you can simply wait for again another 2 seconds, okay, and simply here directly you can go to the page object, await page object dot locator, and you need to dot click method. So you'll give the locator value. So first we need to click on the say this option, right, grooming, and then sub options will be coming. So let's see, this is the anchor link, expand it. Okay, this text is grooming. So you can identify the element with the help of the some of the XPath, because CSS will not work with the text. So give control F slash slash tag name third bracket text equal to the value of the text. Okay, you could see it is identifying the element. Okay, but three element is there, but anyway it is identifying the first element, so it will work. Okay, but you can take the other approach also. Okay, so here the text is working fine, though it is one out of three element, but the first element will be like click by default, so that is fine. Okay, so we'll take that X path here and I will try to change it here, the value. So now once I click on the grooming, then I want to click on any of the other option like called text practice. Okay, so here also I can try to use get by text, built-in locator. So here what I'll doing await page dot get by text locator, and I can give the text value. Here also you can use it, I think so, it should fine. Okay, what is the next text practice? So you give just test practice, no need to give the space part, because we are trying to identify with the help of the text. Then dot click. Now let's try to run the code and let's see what's happening here. It will enter the value in the first name and last name field. Message will be validated. It will go to the inner frame. It will enter the value in the email field. Your control will go to the outer frame, and it is clicking on the test practice. Okay, that is the way your code is perfectly working fine. Now, here, inner frame, whenever we are identifying it, right? This option we have used page like outer frame dot page frame locator when you given some express or CSS selector value. Other approach also be there. So let's comment it out and let's utilize the other approach to interact with the inner frame. What is the way you can do it? Okay, let's give something called give same name constant inner frame. Here other approach you can follow it equal to the outer frame reference. Okay, then you can give that explanatory mark, and after that you can give dot. Then there is a method available called child frame, and here you can give the index. So here indexing is 0, so you can give the indexing as 0. In case multiple child frame is available, you can give the indexing 1 2 3 like that. Okay, then end with colon, so it will still work. So instead of this line, we are identifying the inner frame in different approach. Okay, without giving any other like CSS or XPath. We are using that child frames and how many child frame available. After that, we are trying to give the indexing. In case 2 3 child frame is available, so I can use 0 1 2 3 like that. Okay, this will still work. Now let's run it. Let's see what's happening here. So it will run same way. Just we have tried to use alternate approach. Outer frame element identified, inner frame element identified, interacted. Outer frame element like again a new value entered, and also element outside the frame normal HTML document also interacted, and your test case is getting completely passed. Now if you want to validate the report, you can also do it. Nspace space playwright space show hyphen report. So just see the report. Okay, this is ran in the Chromium browser. One test case executed, one pass. This is the timestamp, total time taken. Okay, and this is the folder name, this is the spec file name, this is the test cases name. It will be expand. You could see it is navigating to the website letcode.in/frame. It is identifying the first outer frame with the help of the first name, right? FIRST first name frame name, and after that it is trying to interact with the first name and last name field inside the frame. It is entering the value. Okay, it is validating that field is visible. Okay, whatever message is coming, success message is coming, that thing is visible. It is having some text. Okay, after that we are going to the inner frame, and we will be trying to interact with the element inside the inner frame, and we are validating that inner frame element is visible. Inner frame element we are trying to enter some value. Okay, after that we are going back to the outer frame. We are clearing the value in the first name field. Okay, and the last name field also. We are entering new value for both the field, and from this outer frame our control is going to the normal HTML element. We are trying to click on the grooming option first, and inside the grooming option there are a couple of sub options available, and we are trying to click on the sub option called test practices. So that is the way our script is properly working fine, and there is no error, and all are success. So that is the way like user can try to handle the frame or iframe. So similar way you can go to the any of the other website where frame is there. Instead of the iframe tag, the tag will be a frame, but other approach should be still same. So in Playwright with TypeScript or any other language, your context switch is not required, because your context switching will happens automatically. And in case you are having nested frame or iframe, inside the frame or iframe, you can first identify the outer frame, and from the outer frame you can like your control can go to the inner frame, and then you can go to the inner frame element. And if you want to go in the other way, reverse way, you can directly use that element reference, frame reference, or normal page reference to interact with the element. So that's all about from today's session. Thank you.